I'm into stacking papers, I'm smacking fakers if they're rapping haters. I'm jacking bakers, taking dope, plus I'm cracking acres. My thoughts are intricate, magnificent, significant, infinite, spitting it on behalf of those that are innocent. My tongue's an instrument, making my larynx a clarinet. Never the fumble or stumble, staying away from arrogance. The mic's for sacrament, I'm bringing life while you're surrogate.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Today we're taking a look at a big Fraycom favorite with good reason, and it's from the house of Lolita Lempicka, and it is called Masculin. Now, before we break this one down, as always, let's talk about the house of Lolita Lempicka. Lolita Lempicka is the pseudonym for a French designer named Josiane Maurice Pavada. And the name was inspired by the female antagonist in the novel Lolita and a tribute to the Polish Art Deco painter Tamara de Lempicka. Now today, Lolita Lempicka is best known for fragrances. But in the early 80s, they began as a woman's line of clothing inspired by fairy tales and princesses and the romantic fashion of times past. In 1997, they released their first fragrance, and it was called Lolita Lempicka for women. And was at the time, this was when Gourmand was starting to assert itself over the fresher scents. Mugler's Angel had sort of skewed the playing field, and this one became really popular as well. It had licorice and sweet praline, and it was packaged in a really magical and fun apple-shaped flacon. It did really well, and it inspired them to launch a men's fragrance in 2000, which is what you see in front of you right now, Lolita Lempicka Masculin. As of today, there are almost 50 fragrances under the Lempicka name. The scents are done in conjunction with a company called Amore Pacific Group, who also works with Knick. I own two. I owned this one and the flanker, for which the box you can see right here, Masculin Eau de Minuit. I would also like to get the intense version of this, which should be out by the time you see this, and hopefully by the time you see this, I have that one. This one was my first purchase, and though I believe that I was just purchasing a 100 ml bottle off Amazon, when I got this and I paid $30 for it, I did get the 100 ml bottle, but it also came with a shower gel, and it was in this big box that I got rid of when I moved, and that's why I have the other box next to it. Now, as I said, this one was a 2000 release, and you should be able to find this one for 20 to 30 bucks online. Any website that sells fragrances, this one is definitely out there and abundant. It's very cheap and easy to get. And the nose on this was certainly one of my favorites, Enic Monardo. And the notes on this one are violet, ivy, basil, anise, licorice, and wormwood at the top, sandalwood, tonka bean, rum, and almond in the middle, vanilla, vetiver, cedar, praline, and lapdanum in the base. Now, because I don't have the box for this one, I'll show you my box for Eau de Minuit. It's pretty identical, except the original box isn't black. It's like a bluish shade. You have a batch code there, information on the fragrance. Now this is for the Minuit edition, which added oud wood into the mix, so not the description for this one, but I just wanted to show you the box. This fragrance, you can see Lolita Lempicka Masculin. A lot of juice gone from this one. You can see the batch code stamped in the bottom on the sticker. It's sort of, I guess, meant to look like a tree trunk or the roots of a tree. You open the top, you got a really nice atomizer that works fine. Not the best one I've ever seen, but it'll get you by. And that's the presentation. I love the bottle on this. I think it is sort of really fairy tale. I like the frosted glass effect. I think it's a really, really cool bottle. Now, I did not use, as you see, all the juice that's gone here. My father loves this scent, and so I gave him a really healthy decant. I've probably worn, a couple mLs out of this one, but most of it was given to him. With that said, I would say it's a really good fragrance for the price. Good luck doing better if you're looking for a sweeter licorice based scent for a cheaper price. It is the end all be all from my perspective. On that, is it the end all be all for overall licorice scents? It's not, but it's really good. And what you're going to get with this one is anise, licorice, and almost an exaggerated sort of boozy note that is referred to as rum. I've never smelled rum that smells like this, but that's me. So you'll get licorice, you'll get the anise, You'll get the booze, you'll get the almond and tonka, and there's a base of vanilla, sandalwood, and just a little bit of resin. It's a really nice scent. I would call it gourmand. If you're a fan of gourmands and like licorice in your fragrances, you have to at least give this one a very serious look, because at the price point, as I said, it's damn near impossible to do better. Now, if you want to step up a few dollars, you can get better and East scents out there. But if you're willing to spend $20 to $30, this is your best bet. And again, the dry down, the licorice sort of loses steam, and it does become a vanilla like almond, tonka, and the slightest bit of resin thing. It does sort of dry down to your sort of standard designer gourmand base, and that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Performance is really good. It's not perfect. I know that, as I said, an intense version of this has dropped or is dropping. And you might get some more power from that, but this one will project. It will get you through a day, and even though it's a men's scent, this one is right down the line, unisex, really, as most gourmands are from my perspective. This is 3 season juice. You could probably wear this one on cooler summer evenings, but I think overall it's a bit too much for the dog days of summer. And for me, this is a night out date scent, or even a romantic scent. You folks know my philosophy on the kind of scents that women like: fresher stuff when it's warm out, and sort of gourmand stuff when it's cooler out. If you can't get this, or are looking for something like it, or looking to step your game up or whatever, you can definitely check out the oud and wheat version, which does have some oud in it. On the higher end for licorice fragrances, I prefer 2. I prefer Black Vines by Kerosene. I'm not a huge fan of Kerosene's fragrances, but I think Black Vine is an excellent licorice scent. And another one that I really like is one by Mancera, which I reviewed, called Oud Black Candy, which is a gorgeous licorice fragrance. I sort of get a Body Kuros vibe from this one as well, YSL scent. I've seen this compared to Brune Réglisse by Hermes from the Hermescence line, but to me that's more about licorice and lavender, and this one doesn't have lavender in it. If someone were trying to talk you into the purchase of this one, I think they would tell you that it smells nice. It should be a compliment getter for you. It's available, but it's fairly obscure. I don't know that everyone you know will be wearing this one, and it's a really cool bottle and a really cool house. If someone were trying to talk you into skipping it, I think they would say that not everyone loves licorice. You might not, and people around you might not. It does have a bit of a synthetic air to it, and there are better licorice fragrances out there. So how many licorice fragrances do you want, and then how much are you willing to spend on that one or those? I love the Nick Minardo. I love the kind of fragrances she makes, and I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. The only beefs that I have with it are there are licorice scents that I prefer, and this is not a beast of a performer. Take that out of the equation, and it's the best licorice scent you can get for the money, so it's hard not to give it props for that. And this is a fun one for an average dude to just bust out on a cold night with a woman, so it has practical use and it's quality juice. It's not the holy grail of licorice scents, but Indiana Jones probably would have been looking for this shit just the same, because it is really good. So guys, that is my review on Masculin. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help you in any way that I can. You know what it is. My name is Maximilian.
And I don't even trust them. Those cats want to see power, I'm gonna crush them. Affiliated, got all the work flowing through custom. Frankly, better make your mark and enforce it. Look at me, the end of my sleeves remain frosted. I lost it. Took the